All right, guys. Alliance Wars Season 31. Our final war of the season. There was that one war that we didn't get enlisted for where it didn't count, so 11 wars is what we're going to get this season. And we are going to end the season off with a banger of a war. We have 20 fights this war. We got one mistake and our 11th straight boss solo. Every boss solo, every single war, and we continue to abuse Kingpin. Uh, every single war, except for the one where he was banned. He was only banned once, and we found a way around it. But this war, I think the bans were like Corvus, Ghost, and Torch. So we've got Magneto and Doom to play with. We got all the big favorites in this one. We're going Kingpin with the Hood synergy and Magneto on this team. And I think we've got Guillotine, Magneto, and Doom, all 6-star rank 3s on the other account. So we got a nice team there. So Killmonger, no problem with the first fight. Guillotine 2099, no problem here on the second fight. If you haven't been to the channel before, we run 2 accounts in the same battle group. And I have to speed up the fights a little bit because we have so many. And I pretty much boosted for most fights. Here we got Korg. Even though Korg can be a tricky defender with his thorns damage, I don't really care about it with Kingpin. I'm getting willpower healing from my rage stacks. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to parry until I get rid of his rock stacks. Beta heavy, take those special ones on the block. Really not a problem. There, we can counter in if we're close enough on that special one. Again, the shield is shattered again, so we can parry freely, and Korg drops before we know it. Again, Kingpin, a monster. All right, so now we're going to go Path 5 Section 1 on the second account. We're going to go Magneto against Darkhawk. We've had this fight, and we might have had it earlier this season or in previous seasons for sure. But again, knock him down. He goes debuff immune for a bit. It doesn't really matter. Because of that, I'm just going to go ahead and just like counter his special one here. I think I just used a bunch of the war boosts this war, even if I didn't really need to, just because it's the end of the season. We keep getting more boosts, and they're going to end up in overflow, so I might as well use them. Hopefully we can stick around in Platinum 3. We had a bunch of, if you were around at the beginning of the season, we had lost an entire battle group right before the season started. We managed to put the pieces back together and finished pretty strong, pretty happy with how we did. And again, the 20 fights in this war is going to push me up to 190 fights on the season. So we were definitely on pace to break, I was hoping to break 200, and which we didn't quite get. I think the most I've had in a season is at least from what I've been, since I started tracking how many fights, I think the most is maybe 192, but that was with an extra war. So with one less war, 190, we were definitely on pace to beat that. This fight we've done Ebb and Flow knockdown against Hitmonkey. We've done this one with Guillotine 2099 a whole bunch of times. You can see I kind of got stuck there waiting for him to bait a special 1. He didn't want to throw it, so I pushed him to a special 2. And here he's got also heavy hitter, so I can't bait his heavy attacks. It's just, I can parry and attack in. I just don't want to knock him down. I don't want to deal with his evades or purifies or anything, and I feel like my degens can do just enough damage. It's just, you can see I'm just dancing around waiting for him to throw those special ones so I can counter in, but not so bad. Unfortunately, I think I had the most deaths I've had, and it really was that first war. I had a terrible first war. After the extended off season, I think I had 3 deaths in that first war. Since then, the most deaths I've had in any single war is 1, and that continues. It's just, when you're doing so many fights, there is a chance you're going to screw up, and we're going to see what happens here. Sometimes, you can sometimes you got like inputs that don't quite work the way you want, and sometimes you just make a mistake. And I did that this war, and we will, sometimes it's just being impatient. But here we go. We got Ebony Mob, but Doom is on the team, so I'm not worried about this one. We are just gonna try. We don't want to deal with his falter at all, so I'm just gonna go with 1 or 2 hit combos and just Doom slap the crap out of him. That's the goal. Knock him down as many times as we can so we don't have to deal with the falter timer. I think he does get 1 either power steal or degen on me right there. I think he nullified my buff. So that's the only degen damage that I took. So I don't want to take the one from hitting into him when he's got the falter active. So again, every time he throws that special one hit, Doom slap, or 1-2 hits, Doom slap. Awesome. Fight goes down. Really happy with that one. Here we got Cosmic Ghost Rider, where I got clipped by his special 1 in the previous war. Here we're going to go Magneto because he's #metal on Power Snack Backup Recovery. And you're going to see, and again, they're running Damaging Masteries, which makes it that much easier. You can't even gain health from it. You can see his unblockable special 1, full dex, no problem, because that's what I usually do. And I'm not going to get clipped by it here. But yeah, we will have one mistake, and you'll wait to see it. And it's one we've had before, which is it was just an annoying mistake. But mistakes happen. It's not the end of the world. It's just a game at the end of the day. But there we go. No problem on that Power Snack CGR. Now I was looking ahead with Guillotine 2099, which is what I normally do, and I'm looking ahead to this Mix Master Professor X. Now, normally I have no problem with this guy, but I don't know if it's going to be noticeable in the video, but at a certain point, the game just lags like crazy, and there I get rid of his falter, bait his special 1. I have to keep track of my, now I'm back on track with my combination of heavies, but I'm just, I go parry medium like medium, parry heavy, so I'm feeling like I'm in a great spot here, okay? Get his falter, bait his special 1. Now all I got to do is get a parry off. And there, I don't know what happened, if it's the animation and it lags, especially with the way Professor X like phases back and stuff. Could not get the parry like 2 times in a row. Another time I can't get the parry. I screw up with the falter. And I'm like, all right, I was going to hold the special 3, which it would have helped me later and probably would have avoided a death. But instead, I'm stuck throwing that special 3 now just to get the spacing, because he was driving me crazy. I couldn't get my parry off. And there we go. So that is going to come back to bite me in the butt later. Next, let's go on the right side. We have the Window of Opportunity stun Spider-Ham. Now, unlike the Mysterio we fought in the last war, here we just have 1 Window of Opportunity stun timer. I can just hit into his block, try and bait a special, wait for that timer to go down. Now I can freely parry if he'll let me. There we go, get a parry heavy off. And here I can get my special 1. Now, I don't know what it was. He was very stingy with the special. I had an invulnerability boost on just in case, because it's Spider-Ham, in case he evaded. And finally, he throws that special 1, and he's done. Finished. All right, let's continue up the right side. We have Magneto, who's shock and bleed resistant up to 90%. Plus, Doom is #metal, so this is perfect spot for Magneto, but I'm not going to be able to do the parry heavy method because it has one eye open. So any damage you do while the opponent is stunned is reflected back onto you. Now, there's a chance that Magneto might shut the node down completely. I am not going to test that out, especially in Alliance War. So here, I'm just going to bait his special 1 over and over again. I'm going to throw my own specials. No problem there. And again, when he throws his special 1, sometimes he gets the aura, sometimes he doesn't. But for the most part, Magneto's shutting it down. He's running recoil, so he's taking damage anyways. So pretty easy fight here. I just don't want to throw the special when the aura's up. Unfortunately, my special 2 didn't do too much there, but we finish him off anyways. There, I think he's just going to die from the recoil damage. All right, we'll continue up. We got a Mole Man. Again, no problem here for Kingpin. It's just a hazard shift, nothing really else. I know that there's going to get some armor ups that if he gets too many, you want to hit into the block to remove them. And against Mole Man, you don't really want to hit into his block if he has the like monster mass up. But I can pretty much just ignore that. Kingpin's going to hit more than hard enough. Plus, he's got the degen on that special one. You can see like 30 seconds into the fight, he's halfway down. I'm really not too concerned about this one. There, bait a heavy attack or bait special ones. That's all I want to do. But I can see why he'd be placed here, because if you get stuck with those armor ups, if you don't have a way to get past, like to out damage him, you could get stuck wanting to have to hit into his block to get rid of them, and you don't want to do that because he's going to go unstoppable. So I understand the placement, but Kingpin more than enough to handle him here. All right, now let's go up the middle section. We have the Footloose Kinetic Transference Nimrod. But I got Doom here, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to parry heavy to make sure I get those nullifies on. So when he does throw a special, you can see there, no Footloose. That was a nice clean evade on his special one. Most of the time I do not get it. Usually I get clipped by the end of it. And I think I even have an invulnerability boost on just in case. And I think you'll see some other times where I go to bait the special one. And I think I get clipped by the end of it there. I'm going to use my own special one to try and siphon some power. I want to try and get off a nice special 2 if I can. Here, I'm able to evade his special 2. I've had lots of practice against Nimrod in map 8 of Alliance Quest. So pretty happy with him fighting him here. Here we go. Nice full dex again. Again, doesn't always happen, but really happy that it did. Again, trying to get a few more heavies for some staggers. Another nice clean evade on the special one. We're going to get our own special 2 off. Get some nice decent damage there. There you can see the last bit, dex, then the indestructible saved me on the last bit. But by then, he was almost done. So really happy with that fight. Now, here's where I needed the 100 charge to start. And that's where the Professor X fight comes to bite me back in the butt. So this fight should have been long gone. I screw up a little bit early. Give her 2 prowess. Now I just got to make sure that I back up. I do not want to get clipped by that special one. That's what happened the last time I fought Kitty Pryde with Guillotine. So again, you don't want to give prowess. You get prowess by crits and parries. So I'm trying to play stun immune. You can see here we're like 40 seconds into the fight. We're evading and countering the special one, no problem. The defender's even running recoil. I don't have to do much, but then I make a stupid mistake right there. I thought I countered the heavy. I thought I went in time. I was too late. I get that. I take a special 1 to the face. I know from the past, so I drop my special 3. I know from the past about the incinerate. I forget that I shouldn't be attacking in at all, that I need to like back off. I attack in and I get that passive incinerate. And now she gets it again and I'm done. So frustrating. If I would have had the 100-hit combo, the fight would have been over so much sooner, and that was just frustrating a little bit, but it's okay. We end up on the season like 181 and 9 on the season. 9 deaths is a lot, but 181 solos is also a lot. So I can't really complain. 190 fights in one Alliance War. I don't think you're going to find that anywhere else. So if you want a lot of war fights, lots of mini bosses, lots of boss circle action. We had the boss fight every single war, so I can't really complain. Pretty happy with how the season went. Here, again, if I could have finished that other fight with the special 3, it would have just helped this one also go by faster. That's the deal with Guillotine 2099. If you can finish your fights with a special 3 and then use that 100 combo, you're going so fast. If not, then the fight is a little slow. So that's why we speed up some of these fights here. But it's okay. We're getting our combo up. We're almost at 60 combo. I am getting some intercepts in throughout the fight a little bit here because this is ebb and flow intercept. But we've done this before against Immortal Abomination. Guillotine has been a great member of the team. We've used her a ton this war, but at the end of the day, I think we used, because of the bans and everything, I think we've used, I was counting it up, I think 17 or 18 different attackers in the 11 wars this season. So in terms of getting some more diversity amongst, amongst the champs I used as attackers, so that definitely came into play. I know like champs like Magneto and Doom, even though I got to use them in this war here, right? So I get to use I get to use Magneto here for this Nova fight, which I've done in the past. I do screw up a little bit in this one, but not too bad. We still come away with the solo on this one. But I did get to use a lot of different champions. Diablo got to show up a lot. We got to test out Spider-Man 2099. We got to bust out Void for an America Chavez solo. That was nice this season. So there's definitely been some highlights. There's definitely been some screw ups. But you know what? When you're doing so many fights, and there's a chance you're gonna get some deaths. So pretty happy overall with the way the season went. Finding different champions to use. I know Iceman made a triumphant return this season with a bunch of nice fights on Hazard Shift, so it's really nice to bring him out again. It was a really nice season here. Magneto is going to finish off Nova here. And now we get some boss circle action. We have an anti-venom, which, again, he's got passive healing. So he doesn't go unblockable the same way that if someone triggered healing on this node, they would go unblockable. So even if I do hit into his block and I trigger his healing, he's not going to go unblockable because it's passive. It's not an active healing buff. So anti-venom is really not much of a problem on this node. Plus my damage over time is going to help tick away. Bait is special 1, attack back in. Really not too much of a problem. I think he's actually more of a tricky defender on Stunning Reflection because he's both poison and incinerate immune. So I think he's a much better defender there. Here we have Void on Hazard Shift, stun immune. We've done this all season with Kingpin, and we did it once with Iceman. But Kingpin, no problem here. Even though I am taking some damage from my rage stacks that count towards the degen from the damage over time from the damaging debuffs from Void. But because it's Hazard Shift, the more debuffs I get, the more I end up purifying them. And then right now, I didn't have any debuffs on me for a little bit. So it's not too bad. It's also, there's no heal block on this one, so I can get my willpower healing the entire fight. And even though I take have a chunk of damage, I can get through that one, and I know that I can get through it. All right, next we have Penny Parker on Stunning Reflection, but because it's got polka dot power, I've done this fight last season, so you go in with Magneto, and even if I do get I can't get auto-blocked because of the magnetism. I could still get power burned, but because I don't gain power burn steals your power to do damage. If you have no power, they can't get power burned. So really, it's just a slow fight here where I cannot. Unfortunately, I had an invulnerability boost on just in case, and there we go. I get clipped by a heavy, and there goes all my invulnerability charges. Really, I should have done a duel beforehand just to practice my spacing again. But there we go. You can see I can get the heavy off. It says auto block failed. It says power burn, but I don't take any damage because I have no power to burn. So this one is a bit of a slower fight, but it's not that bad. Once I get into a routine of my spacing, for heavy countering Penny Special 1, and I'll just keep trying to take down the shield. Even though I can attack in normally and I don't have to worry about the power burn, I was still trying to get the sync shield down. I think I probably just should have gone for just bait the heavy and counter in, not even necessarily countering with my heavy, but I do get like double damage there, that you get direct damage. You can see I'm doing more direct damage than I am doing actual damage on those heavy attacks because of Magneto's signature ability. So you can see I do a whole bunch of, I think, energy damage. So I'm doing like 3,300 energy damage on top of my like 2,000 something actual hit, because nothing at the moment, nothing's critting. So it's just a bit of a slow fight here. But we've done this one with Magneto before, so I knew I was pretty safe here. There's no parry, so you're basically just playing this one stun immune. There, I get an accidental parry there, which is unfortunate, and that's what happens when you're playing a long stunning reflection node. Luckily, Magneto can only take a certain amount of damage from a hit, and we didn't get any specials thrown at us. So luckily, we make it through there. And at this point, you can see I start just throwing in like regular combos. The fight was taking too long. I've done this one before. This is like a 6-star, I think, rank 3 Penny. So just a little bit of a beefier node. I could have played smarter. But at the end of the day, a solo's a solo. Even if I take a few hits to the face, not the end of the world. And it's the last war of the season, so if I use some items, who cares? They're probably going to end up... I probably have a bunch in overflow and they're going to expire, so might as well use them. So again, fight's almost down. I guess I went to go ahead and try and get rid of the sync shield one more time. Again, now I can go in, get some nice crits there. And another heavy attack, and I think I just hit into the block and the fight is over. So a little long there, but we got it down. But here we have, what is this, like Limber, Brute Force, Spry, but again, Stealthy is metal. Magneto bypasses Limber. So I can just go ahead and parry heavy the entire time. Completely shuts down the node. It's still brute forces there, so I still have to get my hits in every few seconds. So I'm going to go in. Luckily, I do get the hit there. He's also running recoil, so this fight is nice and quick. I can just throw one special one, and he's finished there. Huge crit there. All right, and last is our 11th boss solo of the season. It's a Magneto. What do you know? We've done this one so many times. So I'm going class disadvantage with Kingpin. I don't care. I sped this fight up for you. I'm going to let the music go. But 190 fights for the season, 181 solos, 11 boss solos. You're not going to find any more fights anywhere else. So I hope you guys enjoy this stuff. If you do, let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Hopefully we'll do some more live streams this week, and we'll see what else comes out. When new content drops, I will have something uploaded for you. So stick with the channel. We've been growing. It's been awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed what we've been doing, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Have a great one.